What's up, everyone? Brian here with Casey Lynch.
What's going on?
The Blast from the Past, the Bearded Beauty.
That's right. Whoa.
Yeah, we're playing some Blood of the Werewolf. And Casey, tell me, first of all, this game came out on PC. Tell me what's different about it and why we should really be interested.
Well, you should be interested in it because it's like really cool. Yeah, so the game came out last year on Halloween for Steam and for PC. What we're doing is we're bringing it to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and we're adding a bunch of new content. There's challenge modes. There's a bunch of stuff that you're going to be able to do that essentially extends sort of the life of the game, where you're going to... I mean, the game itself... looking at it, you can tell it's a 2D platformer. It's definitely inspired by games like Castlevania and Metroid. It's got a certain level of difficulty to it, and then
Let's be real. You're saying it's pretty difficult.
It's a tough game. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's challenging, and that was one of the things that was appealing to us. Is that the team behind it, they're called Scientifically Proven. They're a great group of guys. They're a small team that's out of Farmington Hills, Michigan, and they love classic platformers like Ghosts and Goblins, and like I said, Castlevania. But they also love like sort of classic movie monsters, like the old Universal monsters, like the Mummy and Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon, and so on. And
sure. So those are the main villains of this game too.
Correct. Yeah, they make up sort of and comprise both the villains, the mobs, and then ultimately the boss fights. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the big hooks of this game is that you're a werewolf, but right now you don't look like a wolf, right? It's because you're not in the moon.
That's right. You're a lady here. You're Selena. So you're playing as sort of a mother scorned. So your husband's been killed actually, and your son has been taken, and so you are trying to rescue him and then also sort of exact vengeance for the death of your husband. And so when you're inside and you're not around the moon, you play in this human form where you have a ranged attack, you have a crossbow. There's all this sorts of different upgrades that allow you to do different kinds of shots. Like there's a firebolt, and you can do like double and triple shots and so on.
And it looks like you're firing using like the twin stick setup.
Yeah, so you use the right analog stick to direct sort of where you're going to be shooting. But so then once you actually, and we'll see it here in a little bit, once you actually get into the light of the full moon, you transform automatically into the werewolf.
You can't control it.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed in such a way so that, the game itself is exquisitely balanced. I mean, I like to think of it like, we always talk about Dark Souls, and, I'm a pretty outspoken Dark Souls fan. And so, in sort of the same way, like the game is designed, level to level, encounter to encounter, for that type of gameplay and that type of balance. And so yeah, the guys, they put together the werewolf sections so that it will sort of be complemented by the changing gameplay. So when you're playing as Selena, as the woman here, you only have like a single jump. You've got the crossbow and ranged attack, like I explained, and we'll see the wolf here in a second. But as the wolf, you've got a double jump, and you've got these really powerful melee attacks. I mean, you're a werewolf, right? So
sure, it makes sense. You maul things.
So yeah, and you haven't seen. I don't know if we've been hit yet, but when you get hit, it has this sort of, there you go, you have the sort of classic fallback. So as things start to heat up, I mean, this is the first level of the game. As more enemies get on screen, as there's more environmental hazards and whatnot, you really start to have to manage, like, okay, this is where I am, and this is sort of how I'm going to navigate through the area. And so Selena, actually, her jump is pressure sensitive, so like you can tap on A or X and jump, or you could hold it down as you tap and jump for a little bit more height. So it's definitely tuned so that you can move where you want to move and in the timing that you want to do it in.
Okay. So we talked a bit about the classic movie monsters, how they're the villains, the Mummy, Dracula, whatever. Are there certain enemies sort of based around those monsters that feel different to fight? Or like, does the level design change when you get close to the...
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you're working through these different levels that are sort of representative of the different monsters and sort of their world and their sort of complementary villains that go along with them. So yeah, you're going to go through the sewers. You're going to find your way into like crazy laboratories and underground sort of factories where there's crazy fire hazards, and all of the sort of villains and monsters that you face kind of go sort of hand in hand with all of that. So in those the little sigils that she's collecting, the gold and sort of like blue silver ones, those as you collect them, they increase your hit points.
So we're doing pretty good here. We haven't seen what happens when you die yet. What is... are you going to be dying often? And if you do, is it like a really quick reset? Is it sort of like a Super Meat Boy thing? You're right back in it? Or do you... Is it like
well,
checkpoints?
We'll die right here. You can see. Yeah,
okay.
there's a very good checkpoint system. So you're not thrown back very far. Thankfully. I mean, these guys, like I said, I mean, they're inspired by games like Ghosts Goblins and so on and so forth. But, you know, this is... It has all of that gameplay, but it also is designed in such a way that, you know, you don't have to go back and replay the entire game.
Sure. Early on, you made the comparison to Metroid. Are we going to be revisiting areas we've already been to?
No, it's more just in the sort of like it has its own identity in the way that it plays and being able to switch between. Whoops, being able to switch between. You know, the two different modes of play between Selena and the Wolf, and then just all the exploration, the collectibles, the way that you're upgrading your weapons, and so on. And all we need to do now is just to add the, you know, every time you pick up a thing.
I just got to point out, Infinite Blood, probably the best cheat. I haven't even seen it. I don't know what it means. It sounds pretty explanatory.
You'd be in trouble if we turn that one on. All right, so here's the Wolf. So, I mean, it's interesting for a platformer because you're playing, you know, on all fours, which is different. You're typically playing as some dude that's running and jumping to the right with two legs. But so the Wolf has a double jump, which gives you a lot more lateral motion, and you can get to, you know, higher places, and therefore it sort of introduces a different level of verticality between these levels and the levels with Selena. And you know, those birds and those bats.
But also, you lost your range attack, right?
That's right. Yeah. So, so now the Wolf has a dash, which allows you, which you just saw right there. That was the focus attack. The dash is the red one where he kind of sprints across, or she, sorry. And that makes you actually invulnerable for like a second while you're performing that move. But yeah. So, I mean, the Werewolf, it makes sense, right? The Werewolf is right in your face, and the Werewolf is strong and powerful. It's claws and jaws, and so it's primarily all melee. There's no, like, range attack.
So, would there be a situation like you're invincible when you're dashing? Would there be a situation where you dash not to attack, but just to have that invulnerability for a little bit? Oh,
sure, yeah. I mean, and it's all about, you know, how you want to play. I mean, the game itself lends itself really well to speedrunning. So there's sections where you don't necessarily want to engage an enemy, you just want to kind of go past them, and so that could be a way for you to accomplish that.
Okay, that's really interesting. I've been watching like the Awesome Games Done Quick, and speedrunning's sort of been a thing that's picked up. Did you actually design, like, was this game designed with speedrunning in mind a little bit as well?
Not like primarily,
sure.
But absolutely, yes, for sure. Like, the guys are huge speedrunning fans, and, you know, I mean, they, like, we'll all talk to them, and they love just to, anytime there's new stuff about people who are beating times, or just, like you said, you know, the stuff that everybody's been doing for charity. But so, yeah, I mean, in fact, they were talking about putting in speedrun modes.
All right, so if the game is sort of built around speedrunning, is there, what has been implemented to kind of make that a thing that people can do easier?
Well, you can switch between levels, and, you know, just gauge exactly how quickly you can get through each level and compete, you know, for leaderboard sort of position. But then there's also a mode called Score Rush, which essentially pits you to try and get through the game with the highest score on each level. So yeah, I mean, the guys at Scientifically Proven are huge fans of speedrunning, so that was definitely in their minds as they were putting everything together.
Cool. And then is this Score Rush new to the console version, or was it on PC as well?
It is new to the console version, yeah, along with the new challenge mode.
Okay, and actually, let's go ahead and go take a look at that challenge mode if you guys don't mind.
That sounds great.
Oh, cool. All right, so we're here in Endless Challenge Mode, and this is the new content, well, some of the new content that's been added for the console version. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so essentially, basically what the game's going to do in this mode is pick from 30 different rooms and sort of procedurally generate a gauntlet for you to see if you can get through. And it's just going to basically throw everything at you. But it's different every time that you play. So, you know, you can compete on the leaderboards for how fast you complete it, your highest score, you know, how far you can make it, all that sort of stuff. And you can see down on the bottom left, it shows you sort of room by room, sort of how tough.
So it looks like the door's going to come down there. There we go. So now we're in a new room, and
yeah, so you're in room 3 right now, and it's on a difficulty 2. So
okay, and then these challenges will incorporate her human form and also the wolf form.
Correct.
Okay. Ooh, fire.
Yeah, so for people who who've already played the game and finished the initial story mode, and this is a way to go back and sort of take all the skills that you developed over the course of playing the game, and have sort of a fresh experience. You'll be familiar with a lot of these places because these are the places that you visited and the enemies that you fought, but it's rearranged in a completely different order. And again, sort of it has that appeal for people who want to get the highest score. They want to compete to finish the level the fastest, so on and so forth. And obviously, like the game right now we're showing you is still not completely finished, like with those platforms that just disappeared when they went down. So, but yeah, so so this is all new content, and this stuff will be added to the Steam version as well.
Okay, and around the same time that this launches?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this is something, I think you touched on this, but you're not going to want to dive into this right away, right? You want to finish the game, get your skills up a little bit first, and then come into this?
I mean, you can. I mean, but yeah, this is definitely more great content for people who love the game, they love the action, they love the characters, and they want to keep playing, but they don't necessarily maybe want to go just try and speed run levels, say, for instance. So it has a little bit of a random quality to it, which is nice.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much for coming and stopping by and showing off this game.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem. So, Blood of the Werewolf, this is coming out on PS3 and Xbox 360. Expected to come out around April, is that correct?
Around April 2014.
Okay, so look out for it from Scientifically Proven in Midnight City. Thanks so much for watching, and keep it right here on IGN.